Good morning, Coaster Spotters. We are at Kings Dominion at the annual event in October, Ace's Thrillfest, hosted by Ace Mid-Atlantic. Awesome event. We've been here for the last 6 years. I think this is I've been here every year since 2013, so never really miss it. The lineup's not always that great, but the hospitality is absolutely wonderful, so that's why I always keep coming back.
Yeah, big shout out to Ace Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, the regional reps are they're
doing awesome.
Really nice people. Yeah. So as you'll see, we'll see everything that they have to do. We're not doing all the events, but there's a huge lineup of stuff to do. So that's our lineup today. So Jeff, we just got done with our ERT. In about a little over half an hour, we managed 4 rides. Front, middle, back, mostly 2 backs. Back is definitely where it's at. But what did you think? It's been a while. It's been about 6 months or so since we rode it?
April, I believe.
Yeah, 6 months.
You know, it's a good ride. She's still consistently very good. The idea that it's in the morning, it's cold. Obviously, once it warms up, it's a much better ride. But really, for RMC and for the fact that it wasn't a really beloved coaster as Hurler, can't beat it.
Yeah, and if you want to ride the same ride, you can go down to about 4 or 5 hours south of here and ride the ride that used to be here. As he said, it definitely takes RMC's act like a wood coaster in the beginning, but I feel like a wood coaster consistently warms up throughout the day, whereas this, it doesn't take long once it's up to full speed. We could feel it in just a half an hour. Our first ride to our last ride, and our last ride's in the middle, and it still felt better than our front seat ride, which was our first ride.
And what I think honestly too is the reason it took so long to warm up was there is a pretty big delay between discs.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about this. I mean,
probably didn't help it at all.
But right now you're seeing how long it took.
Still sitting there.
Yeah, we're talking 2-minute dispatches. In the beginning of our ERT, even with people who should know how to get into a coaster pretty quickly, it was taking one dispatch was 130 seconds over, and that's before a countdown. I don't even know what it starts the countdown at.
And the problem is that you couldn't pinpoint exactly where the inefficiency was, because it seemed like people got in and sat down and did their thing. It seemed like, I don't know, the operators seem to be trying their hardest, but it just was extremely slow.
Yeah. But overall, really good ride. I immediately, my last RMC was Untamed. Look out for that vlog eventually sometime during the winter. But I like Untamed more, but this is still a really solid RMC. I think it surprised everybody. I don't think people were expecting much from how the layout was set up with Hurler, but I think they did a good job of what they had to work with easily. So, and some people complain about the first 3 hills being straight the airtime hills. I say, what's the complaint about that?
Why is that a problem?
It varies it up after that anyways. Maybe putting an off-access hill on the second one to make it a little varied, maybe.
I think people are getting deep into it. Honestly, compared to Hurler, this thing is by far an amazing ride.
Yeah, maybe people are just no double up, no double down, just 3 hills that are practically the same. Maybe they just saw that as, Shilky being a little lazy on this one. I don't know, or maybe that's what the park wanted, and that's what they got. So,
no complaints on my end.
But this is the first time we did do the metal detectors, because they were installed after the fact earlier this spring. I'd heard that you were giving cards or hand stamping you to signify whether or not you had a cell phone. So if you did, you had to put it in the pocket. They were just, if you went off, they were making sure to tell you at the metal detector to put it in the pocket, and then they were double checking on the train. There was no real.
It wasn't an intrusion. It didn't slow things
down. No, but at the same time, I feel like that's you could still just lie.
Bring stuff on.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're going to lose your cell phone. Don't do that. It's not just.
No, I'm just saying though, if you're going to go through the trouble of having a metal detector, make sure people can actually sneak it on still. It's they're not. You can be told anything, but you could have been told before they had the metal detectors to keep your stuff in your pocket, and people still didn't do it, and people got hurt. So.
I still think it's amazing that mainly RMCs that have a real concern with loose articles.
Well, it's a good reason. You know, with goodness, some bad can happen. With great power, what's Spider-Man?
Great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's
And the great responsibility is to keep the lawyers away.
Knock into him with herself.
Yeah, all right. So we also did a ride on Apple's Apple. I love the name, by the way. I think it's stupid, and I love it.
It's got a weird catch to it.
Yeah, and you still got the ricochet down there anyways. It's easier to identify which one's which, if anything. So I love the paint job they did last year. It was running fine. Most of the brakes were very light. Right before the drops, it touched us pretty hard. But after that, it was fine. My last one of these with this model exactly was Legoland Deutschland, and it was, the Legolands run them hard. Like, you crawl through the last ones. Legoland California, going through that last turn, Jeff, you couldn't have been going more than 5 miles per hour.
That's not fun.
It was just like...
The way they slow them down, it's an even slow. You don't feel like you're getting hit really hard. It's getting scrubbed.
Yeah, they got the rubber pads, so I think it kind of slips through it a lot.
It's nice.
All right.
It's not a hard hit.
All right, so we're going to move on to Anaconda, and we're going to ride that a lot in memory of Vortex. All right. So Volcano.
Hold on.
Oh, God. He can't?
I don't. Just give me a minute.
All right. So, Volcano was his favorite coaster.
This is the first time I'm seeing it completely removed. The last time we were here, it was still up.
Yeah, and we were nearly 100% sure the mountain was going to go, but we weren't. We were like 99% sure it was going to go, but
I can already see flight of fear through that. Like, this is depressing.
Ready? Yeah, we can do it, man.
So now the arch obviously is still there.
Yeah, with last coaster shown still.
Kind of just, they put putty up there to cover it a little bit.
I think they just painted it.
Oh my God, dude. This is so depressing. Well, the Q house is there. That's good.
Yeah, because that was like outside of the building, so I guess they just said, well, let's hold on to it.
That is so mean. Why is that still there?
What? Why is that still there? That's so stupid. We'll show you what we mean in a minute.
Oh my God, man, this is horrible.
Why? Because they didn't have time to remove it from the game, probably. That's why it's still there.
Apparently. Okay, the Q house is still there. That's good. I do like that aspect. So what I'm thinking is potentially they're going to keep that. For whatever they have in mind, they may keep that.
Well, I think they decided it's not part of the mountain. It's easy to keep it for the time being.
And they filled in the planner, or the.
To be honest, this looks actually better than they probably should have done this. They probably should have done this before.
All right. So seriously, I'm thinking this was a strategic decision to keep this here. They may reuse this, and I wouldn't see a reason why not to. And
as I said, it was outside of the building, so why demolish it right now when you don't know what you're doing later on, or they do know what they're doing, or they don't know what they're doing, and keep it just in case, because
I would love to see
demolish it later is not going to cost you much more than to keep it now.
Well, the mountain part you walked in is gone totally. It's only the
No, it's there.
What? The section.
The avalanche section is still there.
Section, but the entrance section that would go up and into the Q house is gone.
Apparently, Avalanche has a lift stop. Yep. Yeah, why is this still here? I wonder if the game is still working. I'll have to download it and see if the game still works for Volcano.
Right here is where you go running into the entrance like a bat out of hell. And this is sad. This is terrible. But hopefully, please, King's Dominion, please, Cedar Fair, I beg you, something good. Don't just plop something down and call it a ride. Do something special.
Oh, I'm sure it'll have Cedar Fair all written over it.
That could be a double-edged sword.
All right, so I was here back in July. We didn't have much time, so this is my first time riding Avalanche without the Volcano. I came over here to do an update, but we didn't have time to ride it. So this is depressing. Also, I'm really excited I'm excited to compare these to all of the mock bobsleds I did later on. So
you are so spoiled.
Kind of a spoiler to those vlogs that will be posted eventually, but I got to compare it to the 3 I did. All right, so we have a few things to talk about. Let's talk about Jeff first.
Well, it is definitely a very jarring view to see clear through to Anaconda.
Do you see that you could still see a little bit of the old log flume drop is still left over?
Yeah. River.
Yeah. That's funny that a little bit of that still survived.
There's not a single trace of anything other than that left.
Yeah, there's a giant, and by the way, really good dispatch. There's a little bit, like they haven't decided what to do with all that crushed concrete yet.
No, it's a very large pile.
You can see it, yeah, it's like 20 feet tall. Yeah, you could probably use that for some, you can use that for foundation. You could use it for like drainage, couldn't you?
Probably.
Depending how fine it is, it depends. Anyways, so fun ride as always. Just quick comparisons. I'll eventually link to all the vlogs where you have my full opinions of the ones in Europe. As far as the coaster goes, I still think this one has the most intensity to it, the most like quick changes of direction. Haida Parks ended up being my favorite for the length and the theming. The whole experience though of Europa Parks was fantastic because, I mean, Europa Parks isn't much bigger than this, and they managed to fit an entire Swiss village inside of the bobsled. Where they had a little seating area that you could go up to and look down into the helix. It was fantastic.
That's cool.
So the whole experience, just like, and there's even less of an experience here now because you used to be able to look at Volcano, and now you're looking. I mean, eventually,
Something will be
something hopefully as attractive as Volcano will be there.
That is a positive point. The whole idea of now the ride is its own center of attention now. Before you'd walk past, you'd see Volcano, you hear Volcano. This ride is now its own unique experience. There's nothing around it to really take away from the ride itself.
Yeah, I really don't. I want to think that they're not going to replace this because I think it does have really good guest satisfaction to it.
TLC. It's a good family coaster because it has the tandem, you know.
Yeah, and I don't think the height requirement's that tall, right?
42 maybe?
That's not bad. I mean, you see little kids, and
The only thing that would really be the deal breaker is the financials of maintaining. I don't know how hard it is to maintain these things. If it's easy, if it's a lot of rehab, I don't know.
Mach supports their rides, from what I hear and believe and see. They're pretty supportive of their things. So
I would love to see Volcano 2.0 and take this out. That would be okay with me.
But yeah, it's a cool coaster, and I'm a little disappointed as far as the track itself goes. It's still my favorite of the Machs, but at the same time, the experience is not as good as some of the ones in Europe. So, you know, give and take. You know, Europe it's just very different, and not everything about Europe that I love. There's some things I absolutely love about Europe, and there's some things that I
Not so love.
And home is, you know, United States will always be home, and everyone speaks English. And not that I am, I felt like inadequate not knowing anything but English, but you come to the realization that not being anywhere near a border that speaks a different language, I mean, Quebec, but that's still pretty far away. There's no reason for me to know anything more than English.
Other than just personal interest.
Right. But if you live in Belgium, if you don't know more than one language, like, your neighbor could be speaking a completely different language.
That is definitely a melting pot of cultures.
Yeah. So, it was fun. I'd love to take another ride. Again, this ride is just so much fun. And, I don't think it's going anywhere, but
I think it'd be more hassle than it's worth to get rid of it, unless whatever they have in mind is going to be humongous. They don't need this space for anything else. It's the corner of the park. It is a good family ride, and it has good guest satisfaction.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna take a quick one on stunt jump. So we rode it, front seat. I don't really hate it. I don't really love it. I wouldn't be sad if they removed it, but it doesn't have a long line.
It's worth the ride.
It's fun. I don't have any really complaints about it.
When this thing was running brand new with all the effects and everything else, much better.
Yeah, this is the only one I rode where it had the full effects. I didn't get out to the King's Island or the Canada's Wonderland until everything was stripped. So
Opening year was incredible.
Yeah.
They've really kind of... I know it's just theming.
No, theming's everything. That's Europe, man. Theming's everything. Like, this was granted it was billboards and containers and billboards and whatever, it still was some cool technology in the trains, like with the doors and the headlights and the rumbles.
Remember we're supposed to drift?
Yeah, this one didn't even have it built into the chassis. The old ones, the first two, you could actually see where that stuff was built into.
You can feel it hit against the stop.
Yeah. But we got about 45 minutes until our tour of Intimidator, so you're gonna have nice views there. We're gonna go ride Anaconda a couple times before we head over there. We just took 3 rides on Anaconda. Neither of us have any problem riding this. We don't have any pain. We know how to ride this thing without hurting ourselves. So,
Smooth. To me, it's smooth.
yeah, I don't. Well, it's not smooth.
Well, the transitions are rough. But
Yeah, there's to call it smooth would be a lie.
no, but it doesn't. I don't get whiplash. I don't get headbanging. I don't get any of that stuff. You can feel the transition.
Yeah, I'm so tall that I'm pinned in there, so I don't have a chance to move around and get all that headbanging that I can understand the smaller person would totally get. But I love it. But I have to say though, if I had to choose one, I'm sorry. I'd kill this one first.
I love Vortex. I have absolutely nothing against it. But over the water, down under the tunnel, this just beats it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fun. The thing after the Helix though is stupid. I've never really been a real big fan of it. I don't.
Butterfly.
Yeah, that's like the worst part of the ride, to be honest with you. Especially at the bottom right there. That's terrible. Yeah, I always love the setting of it, so that's always nice.
And come on, the corkscrews over the water, that's awesome.
Yeah, pro tip: look up when you're going through them. You just see your reflection of yourself looking right back at you. It's pretty cool. So, also, why is it welded up like that, those 2 pieces? That's weird. It's not at a joint. Huh.
It's a transition.
I don't know.
You can see that it's shifted off center.
Or Arrow ran out of steel and was lazy and said, just let's weld it up with some gusset plates, right? With some gusset plates and some, what do you call them? Little thin things.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I used to remember.
Flanges.
Flanges. That would be the word. Yeah, flanges. That looks like something Hopkins would have done. Man, I gotta show you some of the Hopkins stuff. It's crazy. Anyways, we are heading over to our tour. They're getting ready to go. Unfortunately, cloud cover came in, but the light is so good. So we'll get you some nice video of Intimidator set to some awesome music. Let's go. Fun fact, there are the old brackets for when it had a trim brake the first season before they modified the first turn. Yeah, look at that sucker. Pretty awesome to stand underneath this. Alright, Jeff. We just did a tour for Intimidator. Our second time, they seemed a little bit more lenient on some stuff, a little bit. Like, we were able to stand underneath stuff more, but we weren't able to go into the turnaround as much this time. Still awesome shots. You know, you don't even get that close to Millennium.
Oh no, they have the restricted areas still, but you get close enough to get beautiful shots.
I mean, I was able to, as you saw in the footage, I was able to go right over the fence of the motorhome. That was cool. Yeah. But that was fun. Thank you so much to King's Dominion and Ace and all that for always organizing these tours. It's always fun to go places that you can't normally go. So yeah, hopefully next year we got somewhere pretty cool. I don't know. It would be really cool to go back like right next to Grizzly, but I don't think that's a lockout area, so we probably would never have that. Probably Twisted Timbers again next year, if I were to guess. So, or maybe a construction site.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. So we're gonna go take a few rides before we go stuff our faces at the Ace the get together, which is eating a bunch of food in a small amount of time. So we did a ride on an Intimidator, and that was running fantastic, wasn't it?
Oh my god, yeah. Running beautifully.
Yeah, I blacked out until like after the second hail. It was bad. You looked over at me at one time. What did you see?
I could vouch for that. Your head was down basically in your lap. And
I was like, I need to do some self-defense here. But we're in the Flight of Fear queue, and man, that is a lot of dust. Yeah, that's just dust. Look, these are the things that you buy from Costco. And man, I don't think it could probably show, but like it is thick on there. It's thick. Look how. Yeah, you could see that.
Well, the blue light really makes it stick out more.
Yeah, it does. Oh man. Oh man. Whew.
That's dust from '96.
Worst thing is I looked inside my radiator last night when I was cleaning everything. I'm like, oh my god, I've never cleaned inside this. Oh. Yeah, I got to do that. But anyway. Flight of Fear, Jeff.
Yeah, I know. Oh, incredible ride as usual.
Yeah, it was shuffling pretty bad though, man.
It could have been worse.
That was way worse than Anaconda when it opened. Let me tell you what.
This is very heartwarming. To see the queue out to there for the ride.
No, it's not, because they're off suck.
Well, that too. It wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, it was still pretty bad. We're going to give this guy one more go before we head over to lunch.
It was a tough decision. I've been to this park since 1974. Yes, I am an old young man. And it's a great ride. You know, from a guest satisfaction standpoint, from a reliability standpoint, guest experience standpoint, we made the decision we made. So we've got to look forward. We are not out of the coaster business, okay? Contrary to what some might think of some of the questions I have. You know, we're looking hard at the future. You know, we have some opportunities here, so I just wanted to address that.
All right, Jeff. Beer 30, finally. Let's get that Volcano shirt in the way.
Volcano.
Yeah. So, Center of the Universe Brewery, local Virginia brewery, I believe. I got the Slingshot, and he's got a darker ale. Let's give it a try. I approve of my decision. Oh my God, the bees are terrible. I gotta get you a video of the bees in a second when Jeff gets his thing.
Let's toast this to the memory of Volcano.
Yes. But
right there, you can see clearly.
A little bit. Pour a little bit out.
Oh, just for Volcano?
Yeah. There we go. We're pouring it out for Volcano.
Gone but not forgotten.
Yeah. So many bees. Next up, some more beer. Yes. Gonna finally try the King's Brew Lager. And maybe the Amber. We'll see. All right. Finally trying the King's Brew. Ooh, and look at that pig. Pig's a happy pig. That's also a happy pig. For beer. All right, so we are going into the lights-on tour of Blood on the Bayou. This is one of the better houses.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with those. Oh, one last question. So, all these beautiful mazes you have, why do you black out or do the night lights out thing? We just can't fully engross the delicate details of it.
It's a very hard balance because if you add too much light,
You see it?
then the mount.
So it's quite amazing how much detail there actually is
There's credit to.
on these. And yeah, they sneak so much stuff into these
These are all
things. Look at this. You never notice this.
Steve, who we were just talking to.
Yeah, so we just talked to the man who designs this, and he did. Even Universal likes to slip these types of things in. It's very hard to notice them. They're not that obvious. We have that woman.
Yes, I do.
So some of this
Very
is,
creepy looking. It's the same stuff. They buy multiple.
yeah, some of this stuff is very, very standard, but these guys are awesome.
Voodoo dolls.
I wonder if they replace these every few years. Cool too.
Look, there's something in there that comes out. Chest burster. Human flesh. Some very vile stuff.
Oh, this is
It's gross. Extremely gross.
the lighting definitely helps the realism though.
Yeah.
Like it's gruesome, but the lighting adds to oink oink. Oh my goodness. Wow.
So you can see the different rooms, and you can see the theming of each of the rooms.
Dude, come here. I swear they just put like glue over that guy. Okay. To make him look melted or something.
Look, that's why it looks the way it does.
That's so cool.
Is that way? Lily, hold my hand.
Oh wow. Look at this sacrifice. Oh! And you can tell that just the music definitely adds to it. Human bodies. Now that's just messed up. The scale of this one's pretty impressive. I love this. Yeah, it's not quite the multi-level that Universal does, but you can tell that's what they're trying to do here, create a lot of scale. 'Cause it almost looks like two floors, but they kind of made them smaller to make it look like it's like, you know, actual two full floors. Very cool, very cool. And I think that is it. That is it. I love this. This is such a good, yeah, this entrance is amazing. Oh my god, that's what I was talking about. That is like creep level high. Yeah, the darkness hides. A lot. Hides a lot. Oh my god, why? Oh wow. That looks tasty.
Yeah, they gotta light that up.
Beer 30 because I gotta drive in a few hours.
This is number 2 for me. King's Brew, actually very good.
I got the Warsteiner. It's a German beer. I had to go back to Germany. I missed Germany already, so.
No, this is very good.
And man,
definitely have one more.
Look at that lighting. Oh, look at that lighting. That looks so
Dark
pretty.
light.
Oh yeah. Jeff is doing the flight. Where are you taking a flight to?
All over the country.
All over the country. Where are you getting?
I'm going to do the Devil's Backbone, Warsteiner, Center of the Universe, Oktoberfest, and the cider. Great.
This bar.
Much better than the discount store.
Yeah, yeah.
There's the Warsteiner. That is really good.
It is
really
good.
That hits
It's
like a
so
perfect
good.
spot.
Yeah. So, but this bar is fantastic, and
Highly recommend coming.
and it's a really good people watching spot, to be honest with you. If you like to watch people,
Beautiful view.
you got everything. You got the Shenandoah, man, the classic Aero log flume. Who, if you hate Aero log flume, you're a bad person. You're a bad person. I don't want to know you. Alright, so that is pretty much going to do it for our normal day here at King's Dominion. It's not over yet. We are going to do a haunt, and we had a great time. The tour of the haunt maze was great. Look for all of our opinions, though, of that maze and of the other mazes. Look for that separate video here on the channel. So thank you so much for watching.